Give it 1 minute. All right, we're live.
Hey, happy holidays. This is a meeting of the Community Engagement Committee. It's December 15th, and we're at Woodlands Innovation Lab, and the time is now 7:03 p.m. And we'll start off with introductions. Luke?
My name is Luke Johnson, Network Administrator at Greenburgh Central School District.
Dr. Chisholm?
Sorry, Dr. Chisholm, Superintendent. Sorry about that.
Damon Eisman, resident.
David Warner, Committee Chair, Board Trustee.
Tracy Maris, parent, board trustee.
Rebecca Sanfilippo, board trustee, parent and alumni.
Michael McCoy, Director of Physical Health and Athletics.
Tiffany Woodbury, president of the Falcons Nest Booster Club and parent.
Christina Cuevas, parent and vice president of Falcons Nest Booster Club.
And online, Shamika,
Shamika Matherin, parent, RJB, 3 students.
Miguel,
Miguel Barrios, 3 students, 2 in Woodlands, 1 in RJB, and I'm also a contractor with the school district as a graphic designer.
very good. Alexi,
My name is Alexis Dolsol. My 2 daughters, one in RJ Bailey and the other in Highview.
Danya? You're muted. Can't hear you.
There we go. Hi.
There you go.
Hi. Adanya Man's trustee parent, but I'm on here as a parent tonight, guys. Remember that. Okay. So I have 3 kids, 1 in high school and 2 in the middle school.
Okay. Nicole, did I get you? Nicole? We can't hear you. You're muted.
Nicole's a parent of RJ Bailey student.
Okay. Anybody I missed? Okay, good. So we've been moving along from department to department, and our focus tonight is on athletics. And we have Michael McCoy, Director of Health, Physical Education and Athletics, and parent and community involvement in sports is through the Falcons Nest Booster Club. And we have Tiffany Woodbury and Christina Cuevas. So Michael, why don't you start us off by giving us an overview of your responsibilities?
Thank you for having me. Good evening, everyone. So I'm entering in the middle of my 9th year here as the athletic director. My over 20 years in the district. I was D.F. Jackson's phys ed teacher in the beginning. And now I am the proud director of our phys ed health and athletic program. For athletics, we have over 27 teams, male and female, on the varsity level. And we have around 18 modified teams, male and female. Each season, we do a preseason meeting with the parents to do introductions of the season, coaches, go over information for the season about scheduling and all any questions, especially for our 7th and 8th grade parents, where they always have questions about our sports. All of the information that is asked about is on our website, which is continuing to be updated, that has our schedules on it, contact information, calendars for years that are coming up of start time. One of the things that we are proud of each and every season when you have scholar athletes, this past fall, we had 5 of our 7 varsity teams, scholar athlete teams, and 77 of our 133 athlete scholar athletes, which we're very proud of. We just actually got the certificates today, which we hopefully and just the athletes will get them at the end of the season.
So, could you start out by telling us a little bit about what happens in elementary school and then what happens in secondary school in terms of health and physical education requirements, and then, you know, meandering over into the secondary school.
So in our phys ed department, our phys ed and health department, it's nice being in a school district which is small like ours, because not only do our phys ed and health teachers work with our coaches, just so that they can try to build the programs and introduce sports to them at the younger age. We also have phys ed teachers that are coaches, which is great too, because especially when Jackson and Highview students come up here, they know the teachers, and it's great. So a lot of the components that we use in our phys ed and health classes, we incorporate into that, or are incorporated from athletics. We have partnered recently with some outside programs, especially in soccer. We're working with Elmsford Little League right now to come in the spring to do some clinics. One of our baseball coach works with Elmsford Little League now, and they're going to be coming and do some trainings. Our soccer program is also going to be doing trainings at Highview and Bailey in the upcoming spring. Mr. Gaines, who is a social worker up here in the high school, works with K through 6 in our basketball program, and he's also our modified basketball coach also. So getting them adapted to athletics in phys ed is very important, because then it builds our athletic programs up.
Great. What happens with our special needs population?
We have a great special ed teacher, Mr. O'Donoghue, who runs the Pioneer Games, Pioneer team, which they compete against other schools in the county, and it is a great opportunity for them to have the opportunity to not only learn the sport but play in front of all of our student body. Last year we started we did a pep rally for them, and we actually had our boys and girls basketball team mixed in with our Pioneer students and played the game with them, which was great. We had the band and cheerleaders there also with them.
Wow. Is there a culminating activity for that when they get to the end of whatever seasons?
Yes, at the end of the season, they play the whole year and it ends in May. So that's when we do that. We do that activity in May. We usually do a pep rally for them also.
Okay.
For their last game. We do senior nights for all our teams. And last year we started with our Pioneers. We did a senior night for them also. The parents came and see posters and things like that for them. We've had the student body. When they have games, we try to tell our coaches to have the athletes go and watch them. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult, especially in the winter, because we are so practices are going on and we're such under a time constraint of it.
And how do you honor the students who achieve athletically?
So we do athletically, we put things out on social media. At the end of the year when they receive, or end of the season, they receive like an all league, all conference. We publicize it out on social media. We have a platform that we use called Sports U, which all our athletic parents and coaches and athletes are on. So we've been posting on there. And then at the end of the year, we do a dinner, banquet or ceremony, for our athletes. So we honor them there.
Good. Which brings us to the Falcons Nest Booster Club.
I have a question.
Yes.
So with section 1, you can look on the calendar for events. Where can I find Pioneer events? Is there like a section
They're on the
in section 1?
same site as ours, woodlandsathletics.digital sports, which is on our website. There's a section where it says the Pioneer schedules on there. They finish up Thursday is their last winter team, and then the spring schedule hasn't come out yet. So Mr. O'Donoghue, when he sends that to me, we put it on there. Section 1 doesn't, I don't want to say they don't recognize them, but they don't publicize it like the basketball schedule, things like that. We put that on the schedule there.
So who's the administrator over the Pioneer team? So like, not administrator, what's the word? The organizing group.
They're a club activity. They're not athletic, but Mr. O'Donoghue, since I began, we work closely together. Anything he needs.
Mr. O'Donoghue wins the lotto yesterday. Who coordinates? So if every school has a Pioneer team, right? There's a section.
Not every school does.
Oh, so how? Okay, I guess.
There's two different things. There's a Pioneer team that schools have, and then there's also United, which is different. We have Pioneer here. There's schools like Mamaroneck, Sleepy Hollow, Ardsley, Carmel. I think on top of the hill, right? Sleepy, Mamaroneck, Carmel, Ardsley, Fox Lane, Ossining. So those are the schools that we compete against. So they do their own schedule. So Mr. Donahue brings me the schedule so that, he has gym space and things like that he provide. And then I have put it this year with our new athletic, the Woodlands Athletics Digital Sports. I publicize on that and then I put it in my weekly that goes out to the community.
And how does a kid who may need some support know if they should apply for Pioneer United or Section 1 sports? Is it that they have?
So for the Pioneer, Mr. O'Donoghue they will speak to Mr. O'Donoghue, or he has a bunch of students that go, and then him and I will speak also. If a student comes to me and or a parent comes to me and wants to have a discussion, I always bring Mr. O'Donoghue in that conversation.
So if a student enters Woodlands, whether they transfer or from Bailey, and they have a disability or they have an IEP meeting, is that at that time that they are told that they can do sports through Pioneer United, or Section 1?
Those have conversations with the director of special ed. I'm not in those meetings.
And not every student with an IEP will qualify for Pioneer, right?
Do you
So it
understand what I'm
depends.
asking?
So
Like,
I think we're asking about, like, there's unified, like, different programs that are across the country that school district may participate in. With this being a club for students who may be a little bit more, a little less.
United, I'm sorry, United, with unified sports is you can mix match.
Yes.
You can mix match. With
Combine.
Pioneers, it's a specific, where the students are specifically have a disability.
Also, so
Or
Tracy,
depending on the
what's
disability.
your question? Yeah.
This is a-
Any student is eligible to play varsity sports if they
Okay.
can make the team.
Okay,
They have to be able to make the team, right? And the kid has an IEP, if he loves to play basketball, he can play basketball. He's not gonna be separated
okay,
from that, so they have to make the team. There's no, when you say Section 1 is big. New York State Public High School Association, they have their rules and stuff. But as long as a child is able to compete and to understand the rules, of the, as you would say, Section 1 or the varsity teams, they are more than able to play.
And I do want to just clarify too, because words matter.
yes,
So it could be an intellectual or physical disability.
yes,
Not so much that the child has an IEP.
right.
Yes.
So if a child is transferring in for under any circumstance, whether they're from 6th to 7th grade, from transfer into the school, and they have a disability of some sort that may preclude them from playing a varsity sport through Section 1, they will, in their IEP meeting, possibly, when do they have that discussion? I'm trying to find out, how would a parent know that they have this option?
There's really,
When the sports come up, I
the
would
sports
right?
come up. There's really no differential, okay? For example, I know,
I understand, they're the one.
I know students who have IEPs who've played football, varsity football, who has played basketball.
Yeah,
There is not, because you have different types. You have learning disability, you have a physical disability that kind of excludes. That's where Mr. OD and them come, because they have special, assistance for that.
right,
But a regular student, who you wouldn't even know, walk down the hall, you
right,
wouldn't know
right,
that.
right.
If he wants to play varsity sports and he can play on the team,
Mhm.
he can play on the team.
And Mr. O'Donoghue, in the past, there might be a student that would be playing with him and he'd come to me and say, Mr. McCoy, no, he's or she could participate with you.
Mhm.
And it's happened vice versa also.
Right,
And they're largely identified once they're in the school. It's
okay,
dependent on their classes, the team, the school psychologist, the teachers, Mr. O'Donoghue. They really then hand out those not applications, but like interest forms. And anybody who's interested, you just sign up on sports, right?
Family.
I forget which one's which.
okay, so on the school to identify.
Yes,
Okay.
and it doesn't, being on the Pioneers doesn't mean you can't try out for those varsity
That's right,
sports.
that's right.
But you have the benefit of the Pioneers when you really.
If you need to, yeah.
Modify,
Okay.
like,
And it may or may not come up at a CSE. Usually at the end of the year, when you're having your annual reviews, you're discussing academics, but you may also be discussing the child's interests.
Mhm.
And that may be, it doesn't happen in all CSEs, a space where that might come up in conversation as the interest of a child.
So thank you. I think she hit it on the head. Excuse me, I'm asking the question wrong, but I'm saying as a parent don't know about it, how are they learning the information? So that's where I'm kind of coming from, like how would people know? But what you're saying is it'll be identified
Well, in seventh grade.
in some,
I mean,
or when they
I mean,
transfer.
there's no secret. My daughter is in the Pioneers.
But you advertise
I didn't.
as well, I've seen it. So like if your child wants to try out for a sport and they're interested in basketball, soccer, football, you'll look online and see what the sign up is. And again, as a parent, you would know where your child would fit in and hopefully make the right decision to
But
put them on the
parents
team.
may not know, if they're not like a sports parent or this particular parent who put, thank you, that was what I was trying to get at, I wasn't saying it properly. Maybe a parent at Bailey doesn't know, or maybe their kids don't play necessarily sports on the outside. But it sounds like the staff here would identify and offer an interest form at some
Right,
point,
and I think in the past few years, there has been more publicized about it. There's been more out there. But yeah, I can't say I knew about them before I got told this.
Right, okay, but that's good to know for parents to know at Bailey too.
But that could be part of the orientation as we start to make that transition from 6 to 7. Students come over to visit, parents come over to visit. To me, that's a natural part of these are the programs, services, and whatever that we provide here, offer at the middle high school.
During orientation. Okay, good. Okay. So, what is the role of Falcons Nest Booster Club in all of this?
Our role is basically working with Mr. McCoy to fundraise for the different athletic teams at Woodlands. That's what our role is.
And what kinds of activities do you do?
We sell apparel. We just did a cake fundraiser through Carousel Cakes. We have sold chocolate. We host events. So we just did one in November, a fall festival. We did a back to school Walk the Block event. Last year we did a holiday event. So like events with, like things for kids, things for adults. We sell apparel, kind of anything we kind of think of that would, help raise money for the different athletic programs.
And this year we involved the fire department, the police department, the local teams were involved with our holiday events we just did, and they loved being part of the school district. They want to do more events with us. They expressed that. So we look forward to doing more with them.
Great. Are there scholarships?
We're working on that, right? We are planning to give a scholarship to a senior athlete. We're in the discussions of doing that. That's what some of the money was raised for the event we just had. So.
And is there an awards ceremony, or is that the athletic department?
That's the athletic department.
It's given out that night.
Oh, good, yeah.
Just end of the year sports.
Yeah.
And it's
We're working on that. Let's bring that back, so.
when I first took over, Mr. and Mr. Jackson were the head of the Falcons Booster Club, and it was huge. So I know you remember. And on my first day on the job, Mr. Jackson met with me and said, "You have 3 years with me, and then I'm gone." His kids aged out.
Yep.
And after that, it took me 3 years to find them to help us out. And they've done a tremendous job just getting the community back involved with the fundraising part of it. Because every backbone of every athletic department is the booster. And any athletic director you talk to, the booster helps out tremendously because it offsets the cost of the district. It helps them, buying t-shirts for teams, or the team wants to have a pizza party after practice on Saturday. They've raised money, so the booster club will help them out. And the events that they have done have been tremendous. We just need to get more parents involved and help out with it. And when I first met with them, they were like, "What's involved with it?" And it's as much as we want to do, or the parents want to do it.
We actually just did something that was very nice. I like this idea. We opened up a photo session for all the athletes and their parents. And they were able to take, like for us, our seniors or athletes. Yes, it was advertised. A lot of parents came out with band, wrestling, basketball. And they were able to take pictures with their parents, family, guardians, which was nice. It's a captured memory. Gary worked with us,
Area.
yeah, they were amazing. They came and met us. We did a sign up sheet.
So it wasn't urban design?
No, we used Gary.
So, do you,
Did you know about it?
It was on Sports U, we posted it on.
I have this memory of an event called the Greenburgh Taste Off. Do
Yes.
you remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, so we attempted to try to do that, but it takes a lot of work, like Mike said, and we're both moms of 3 children and full-time. So we try to balance our time with everything, and we wanted to bring a different spin to it, which was like the chili taste off, which we just held
Mhm.
with the fire department, police department and all that.
Okay.
So that was something that was fun and new, and everybody seemed to like it. We hope to draw more people next year if we do it again.
It was just great.
You're thinking that the chili is a fall food?
No, well, you can always add more stuff, but
Yeah.
you know, when you do these things, I mean, I was here when Mr. Jackson was here, and that's a lot of planning,
Yes.
okay? And
Right.
once you get it going, it's kind of, not say easy, but it's repetitious.
People
And
look
what happened
for
was it got bigger, but when we first did it, we just had it in,
Small.
we had small gyms.
Yeah.
Then it got so big, we had to put it
In
in
both
big
gyms.
In both gyms.
Right.
Okay, so it's a lot. I mean, as you say, it takes a lot if you don't have the know-how or it's in the time.
Manpower or,
Well, they
yeah.
started planning that, went to their meetings, they started planning that as soon as the event ended.
Yeah.
Yes, they
Was it
tell it
April
next
or
year.
May? They started planning the next year already.
Yeah, it's
And
like I
So the
said,
overhead is big.
Yeah.
yeah, you just need someone who can spare.
And also Tiffany and I did reach out to many businesses throughout the community and
Okay.
were either not interested or just starting. So a lot of the restaurants we use were no longer because of COVID and they just moved, they're no longer in business, and these new businesses.
Yeah.
Oh. Rita,
What?
does the Booster Club have the help support for the parents to possibly assist with the planning?
We welcome.
We welcome everyone, like when Mike had when he does the sports like parent meeting.
Yeah.
We were there, we suggested to each coach to kind of find maybe like 2 or 3 parents for that team that would be willing to like work with us, where we could help them, plan a fundraiser or, execute a fundraiser. We do a lot of work with Tyler, the soccer coach.
Mhm.
So like we collaborate with him a great deal, but he'll come to us and like, say, oh, I want to do a fundraiser, can we work together? So we just encourage like each coach to maybe, like I said, find 2 or 3 parents that are willing to, help their coach with any kind of fundraising, and we're, more than willing to work with them.
So is there a differentiation between people who work with you and kind of the rank and file members who are more or less consumers of events? In other words, do you go to like every kind of game and recruit?
No.
Okay, so.
We just opened it up.
And we're always at the meetings, and Mike always mentions that we're always open for people to come, express what they'd like to do. If they need our help, we're here to help. We would never turn anybody away. We love doing fundraisers for any sport. So it's open to anybody.
So if you don't open Sports U, because I have to find it. How can we find out about things? Because I wish I knew about the photo shoot. I didn't. And you have 3 parents here who are sports parents who are on Sports U. We didn't know about it. So how else can we advertise? How else can we find out about things if we don't see it?
It depends on like certain things. So like if we have for like the fall harvest, Dr. Chisholm has to approve, any flyers that go out. So we go to Dr. Chisholm, she approves it, we hand it out. I post things on social media. So like the carousel cake fundraiser we just had, that was posted on Facebook, that was posted in multiple places on Facebook, Instagram. Mike, did you post that on? I don't think that was on sports, yeah. So we use like social media platforms, physical flyers, if it has something to do with more like athletics.
But if, again, going back to the point of having two parents from each team,
Mm-hmm.
word would get out a little faster rather than leaving it on us to
Right.
try to get it
That's a
out to the
great point.
community. Right, so if you had two from soccer, two from football, two from whatever,
Track,
fencing,
whatever.
track, those parents can get it out to the other parents and more parents would know. And we're trying to bring the community in for the sports. That's what we want. So
Right.
that's our goal.
I do see something on Thursday, it looks like the 15-minute session.
Yes.
But there's no session, should I just reach out, what should I do?
We already had it, it was Saturday.
Oh, it was Saturday,
Yes.
So
oh, it was posted Thursday.
Well, Gary didn't reach back out to us till what,
Yeah.
Wednesday?
and then he
Okay,
sent an email.
Yeah, he's
I wonder maybe
Gary
he's
sent an email.
So one of the
Yeah,
things
good job.
about Sports U is that only the families that are connected to the teams.
Yes, because we're the.
Know about it. And so there are families who may not necessarily have kids on teams, but would be interested in some way assisting. I don't know, assisting or supporting. But I do see a question that varsity basketball and varsity softball are looking for assistance for fundraising, and each team has a few parents to help organize. We need ideas and to be told
We're great at
steps how to
ideas.
execute. So,
We will.
so one of the things that I didn't know when my son started off doing modified sports was how much assistance each team needs in order to reach its fundraising goals. And that, let's just put it this way, I didn't know when he joined the team that we were going to need to do a lot of fundraising. I didn't realize that sort of goes hand in hand with him joining a team. So when he joined modified sports, and really it was immediate, we want t-shirts. We want to have something. And I was unaware of that as a parent of a 7th grader going into this, and became more savvy as it went on that, oh, they want to get some, and I get it, it's just that I was unaware of it. So I would ask Mr. McCoy, and I appreciated when you did orientation at Bailey when my son was a 6th grader. He talked about the sports, but I wish I had known at that time that there was going to be a need for, and mind you, he did a team each season. He did 3 teams that first year, and that there was always the sort of, having being a member of PTA, you're sort of aware that there's always this fundraising aspect, but each team wanted something and they wanted fundraising. And I just didn't know it went hand in hand. So, it wasn't as strong with the first team that he did, but by the time we got to baseball in the spring, and they didn't have hats. They didn't have baseball caps. And
The baseball cap, is that part of the uniform?
Yes.
That's easy.
so I went to Michael's and I bought baseball caps. But I didn't know, there was nobody else knew that they needed baseball caps. And it was just kind of, they had needs. And so I'm just saying that there really is no, unless a parent takes it upon themselves to know that,
Well,
there
it's
really
also-
isn't an organizing,
Well, I think it's
and
also
that's
the-
modified sports.
Yeah, no, but I also think it's the coaches and the team themselves, we don't ask the team, for example, the basketball team, what they want. They'll come to us and say, the coach will come to us and say, my team wants warm-up t-shirts. How can we get them? We have to fundraise, so we do a fundraise and that's how we get them. It's not needs, it's more wants for us. This is what they want. Needs would probably go through the athletic department, such as the hats for baseball, uniforms like that. A lot of people don't fundraise because they don't want anything, but the ones that do will reach out to us and do the fundraisers. So I think that's where.
I'm reaching way back in time to my daughter. I think there was a hoops program at Highview at the time, and And I just, I think we just signed her up and maybe we bought a t-shirt. And that was kind of it. And then she was later and she was on the bowling team and I think there was a glove. But I didn't get, there are certain teams that would have higher, like, all of the body armor on the football team, right?
First of all, you're talking about a uniform versus a want. So like the cheerleaders wanted cheer jackets. That's not part of the uniform. That's,
Okay.
they wanna get cheer jackets. The ones who want them will either pay for it or fundraise. And the ones who don't won't have one. Or the team can decide not to do one, but something like a hat or even a glove that is something that they throw the ball with or whatever. I don't know about bowling, but that's part of, I think, the uniform. So that usually comes with.
Or that also comes with it's a trickle down effect. Okay, when we do things for teams, first it starts with coach. Then it starts with the players. Okay, because what the players want. And sometimes you have teams where everybody doesn't want something. You have teams where some people can afford to have something. You bring something in, oh, those are nice. I like those sneakers that they're wearing. But guess what? Those sneakers cost $90.
Like some teams have all uniform sneakers.
Now you have to put here. That's why with basketball, especially now, you can wear whatever you want to wear. Some teams are uniform, but they wear the same sneakers, everything else. But now because everybody wants a different pair of sneakers. So it gets kind of complicated unless the team can do it. I know my daughter played with Mr. Postel when he was the head basketball coach.
He will have a uniform.
They wanted sneakers, so they found a way of getting sneakers. He knew somebody, who gave money. Some parents gave. Some parents gave money to help out, for those who couldn't give, those who couldn't afford the sneakers. And everybody had the sneakers.
Yeah.
But everybody had the sneakers.
We'll make sure.
So it's more of a want.
That's what I was gonna say,
More of
it's
a
not a
team,
need.
it's more of a team thing, okay?
Okay.
Because if the whole team ain't into it,
But I think you bring up a good point, Mr. Yiser, that the coach you said you work with Tyler a lot. Tyler wants to make sure his team, has what they wanna have for fun, is together, is uniform, looks good, is performing good, because when the kids feel good, they play better, right? And even if they lose, sometimes some of our teams are losing teams, some of our teams are, state champions. So even depending on how they're doing, even though we're winning or losing, they want to look good and feel good. And it does increase team camaraderie if they all have uniform stuff. So certain coaches will put in that extra initiative, that extra effort to work on the coordination, to say, let's all get the sneakers. If you have an issue, contact me and we'll fundraise, right? To bring it down, or I'll get a sponsor. Certain coaches will go above and beyond. Tyler would definitely want to,
And that's an individual team thing. Because every team can't, I know with the AD, everybody has a basic uniform. Okay, there's a lot more uniformity. I know when I was growing up, sometimes you had 3 or 4 guys who weren't wearing the same uniform that maybe 10 other people had because you didn't have whatever. Now, when you look at the teams, everybody looks alike. Okay, football, basketball, baseball, they all have the basic, what we call the basic stuff that they need. Anything elaborate, colorful sneakers and stuff like that, sometimes that's on the individual. And I just look at it as the job that Mr. McCoy does with the athletics that was done before when Mr. Smith was there. It's an accord. I mean, that's what you can ask for. A lot of these times it's based on the team and the students who are on that team, okay, who want certain things to get. Every team's not going to fund this.
Right.
Every team is, okay, we got uniforms, good, boom, boom, boom. When you're out there, certain team, I know the basketball team for the last 2 years, they made it to the States.
Yeah.
So they get a little extra because of the fact it's a basketball team. And they have a entourage kind of.
I can see that there's tons of money from people who just want to show up at a game and aren't willing to volunteer. And maybe right. So if you had I'll sell you a membership in the FNBC with a membership card, there would be money from that. But you guys have the experience of being in the in the situation, so you know what will work and what won't. What are your long-term goals and like, is there something you think you can do next year that you can't do this year?
I think we challenge ourselves every.
Yeah,
we do.
like every event, we kind of sit and something will pop in our head and we're like, oh, let's
10
try
o'clock at night,
that.
she'll text me, be like, I have this idea, let's do it.
So like going forward.
Tell me.
We were thinking about, since working with like Greenburgh Police, Hartsdale Fire, Greenburgh Police showed interest in like doing more. So we want to, I spoke to one of the officers a few weeks ago. He was here for the JV basketball game. We want to do like a Greenburgh PD versus varsity like basketball game.
Like a March Madness.
Like a March Madness.
They do the staff first.
Well, so what our thought originally was to bring it back was to have RJ Bailey kids play and let the varsity teams coach them. So you would have a girls team and let the varsity girls coach and have a boys team with the varsity, and they play against like their friends or whatever. And then we would move it to the varsity players for a set, just to make it a community and not just Woodlands. We're trying to bring all the schools together because like he said, they're eventually gonna come here. And then we want to make it comfortable and have them have interest in sports and, see familiar faces when they come here. And
Good. So, Mr. McCoy, how about your long-term goals? What could you do next year that you can't do this year and so on? You're building.
To piggyback on what they were saying about building for them, they have children that are aging out.
Yeah.
So that's why we encourage parents and one of the things that we keep telling parents, it's, everyone has a million things going on in their lives. And the more parents that you get, the less work it's gonna take for all of us to do this. And that's what we talk all the time about it, even if we get a parent to send emails out or to publicize it more at RJ Bailey, like the booster is, because that's a great point that I'm gonna add to my orientation next year at Bailey, is to tell parents about the fundraising and things like that. But I think that's the biggest thing, is getting more parents out. Next year, the goal is, we're opening up a new turf field. We're opening up a new track, and I think that the athletics with our new facilities that the community supported.
Yeah.
It's, the future is very bright, very bright, especially with the number of athletes that we're now coming out for sports, the students that are coming back from private schools now and are staying here, which is a huge plus. 5 years ago, students were leaving, and now they're not, they're staying here. And I think it's a great accomplishment by our community.
Do you have numbers for us? You didn't have this ahead of time, so if you don't have it, it's fine, but like, fall, winter, average numbers, fall, winter, and spring, is that?
For saying sport?
Yes. Because I know I did hear from some parents in the fall, some students are not in sports, so does it go down, winter, does it go down in the winter?
It goes down in the winter because we have less sports.
Oh.
So
Okay.
we provide, like, there's less, we go from, let's say 13 teams in the fall to 5, 4.
Okay.
So yes, but I mean, our numbers, we had off the top of my head.
It's really a pop quiz. So
Off the top of my head, we had almost 200 and something for the fall. I can get the numbers though for you. But it's this year, like our fencing team this year has 44. Our cheerleaders have 30. Our modified basketball team has almost 30.
Yeah, but girls modified basketball doesn't have.
No, but we've
So that's.
we have 5 girls that is still in the program.
So about 200 plus in the fall, you said?
Yeah.
Do we know around the winter?
I can go to.
Okay. It was a total pop quiz. I
Okay,
could ask them.
great. Well, no, you can provide it to us later and we'll announce it.
Mr. McCoy, do you have a Booster Club membership?
Yes, we're Parent USA.
Okay.
We continue from what the Jacksons had.
Yeah.
We just continue, we have a constitution, we pay membership dues. We have insurance through them. We got insurance through them this year. We also have like our exempt forms and things like that. So everything that the Booster Club was in the past, it's the same thing now.
What is the membership for the Booster Club?
You mean what do we charge parents to join?
No, will you charge anybody to join the Booster
We don't charge them.
Hey, that's an idea that we're talking about. That's a nice way of raising. That means alumni anybody
Can buy membership.
can buy a membership. You gotta be active, but you can be a paid.
I can tell you though, but there are, and you know this from the PTA, Ms. Geddes, people will say, what do I get for that? So do they get like discounted admission to an event?
No, it's just a regular $25. Could be a $25 membership. Okay,
Just
that's
to
it.
support.
That's it. Support. Now, like I said, it depends how much apparel you got, you know, because my old high school, they have a very big booster club. They get apparel. The more money you spend, okay.
They send you a
Yeah,
t-shirt.
just for the basic membership, you just pay $25. You pay $50, they'll give you a sign, you know, magnet, some other stuff. If you wanna pay more money, they'll throw in a t-shirt, they're throwing, you know, that's what I'm saying, they throw in more stuff.
We just did that with, what class was it, 86?
Oh, that's right, yes.
Yes, we went to their cocktail hour, we spoke about what we do,
Yeah.
and they all donated,
Yeah.
they got t-shirts, so,
And
you know.
that's.
Yeah, and.
Overall,
You're doing it. You're doing
the
it.
whole Greenburgh,
Yeah.
Greenburgh population of, you know, alumni, it's be parents, it also be businesses.
Yeah.
Okay, where you can get them
Yeah.
just, you know, hey, all we want is a $50 so and so, you know, what we can do is, if you give more money, you know, like you do a sponsor, we can put you on our programs, we
Put a
can,
logo in.
stuff like that, or.
We are in the process of there's to
Yeah.
businesses, so there's that.
What? Also, they booster clubs.
There you go.
Ask though, I know we were talking about like the sports and in the younger schools, and I know that we don't have sports for them. So like, we were talking and we came up with an idea, maybe a possibility to like, you know, every school has a PTA, we're the booster club because we only have the sports program. But maybe you can reach out to the schools and like maybe 2 parents can volunteer their time to work with us to bring maybe sports to their schools, like clinics, like hoops and soccer clinics with Tyler, like, you know, to get them ready for when they come here.
That's a great idea.
So maybe we can reach out to the school and have like 2 parents from each school volunteer their time to work with us.
How would you want, like Dr. Chisholm, would you want, Ms. McCoy is the administrator, there's principals as administrators, do they talk and find parents? Would you want the booster club to go to the PTA meeting? And ask for parent, like, how do you work for it?
I think it's a both and, right? So I think it's important for multiple facets or ways for the communication. I mean, we meet with the principals once a month anyways, and Mr. McCoy is in that space. So those are the opportunities to you know, to share it with principals and have that conversation. I think kind of based on that too, then the booster club inviting them to the schools to share their information with. I also kind of worry because I wonder if it's only the PTA parents or can it be any, like, all parents?
I've had other parents reach out to us, like our cheerleading was a big hit.
It was a
Huge
huge hit.
hit.
They're all waiting for
And
the
I had it on the calendar, so again, like, we're doing our thing with Woodlands, so I need somebody in Orange Valley and they have Jackson to say, hey, we're doing this fundraiser with the Booster Club. You know, they keep a piece for whatever they want to put for towards their school funds and they'll, you know, donate to the Booster Club. So it's like,
there's also, and again, this is more staff than parent, unfortunately, but there's class advisors in each grade.
in the younger schools?
From the younger schools. So that could be a point of contact. They usually coordinate like the trips for the grades and stuff like that. So they might be.
But I've had a couple of moms reach out about fundraising.
Oh, somebody put
You
a,
have J to everyone?
Luke, can
hold on.
sorry.
I think we already went over that. Oh, maybe not. Hold on. There you go.
Always difficult.
Welcome used to promote girls in sports in younger grades. It's always difficult to field girls basketball, softball teams, even Greenburgh rep b-ball for the town league. Girls need to be encouraged to play.
And that's why we want to bring it to the younger schools. We know that they can't have teams, but if you do the skills and the drills clinics, like the hoops, the soccer, you know, offer it to RJ Bailey, Leah Jackson, Highview, whichever, you know, you have people that want to volunteer that might not be coaches, but parents that play the sports or have played the sports.
They will go.
So, and they're willing to do it.
Players.
Yes, players. We can send our players. up
So
there.
part of, I don't know if anybody online wants to speak, so I don't want to keep talking about part of, I'm gonna die.
I do. Thank you. Okay, can you hear me okay? Okay, good.
that we do have in.
Trustee Mayors, I'm sorry, I was gonna ask a question.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, 1 second. Part of the issue we do have in Greenburgh, it's important that the CEC look at this and know this issue, is the support from the community. So other districts, Dobbs Ferry is a famous one that has feeder, right? They keep their logo. We are Woodlands Falcons, we are green and white. You know, we have TDYCC, they're the Falcons, but they are not green and white. They have their own colors, they have their own crest, they have their own governance. We have the Greenburgh Rec that Ms. Jaldane was just talking about, but that's also separate. You know, we have like 2 different community organizations that feed into our kids. So we have to know and understand we do have issues here because we're not unified. This district is not unified from the community level, right? So it's not like they're Greenburgh Falcons and they hang our banner, like when you drive through Dobbs Ferry, they have the school banner throughout the town.
Well, Tracy, to be fair.
Our community doesn't do that.
You say the town of Greenburgh.
Yes.
Okay, you got Elmsford, you got
Unincorporated, sorry,
No, but still,
unincorporated.
you got, you know the corporate, you have Valhalla, you have Elmsford, you have so many different, so that's why the community center is separate.
Yeah.
Because if you just sit back and Edgemont's still in the town of Greenburgh, okay? So when you start putting.
Right, the unincorporated
Yeah.
Edgemont, Fairview and Hartsdale,
Yes.
but what I'm saying is Edgemont went and got their own school district, so you have Fairview and Hartsdale. Then you have Greenburgh Rec that Deb Jardine was talking about, and you have TDYCC. So we have like 2 recreational programs feeding into our modified program, really, for sports. There's not one unit, it's not like I said, Dobbs Ferry or Hastings, they from young, feed into their.
Because they're unified, it's like, for example, we had Solomon, we had LaSalle School right down the street, we have Maria Regina, we got Sacred Heart, we got so many different entities. It's like, for example, was Fairview Fire Department part of the
No, Hartsdale. Fairview won't come. It's Hartsdale Fire Department is assigned to.
What we need for Fairview won't come?
They told us we had to reach out to Hartsdale.
I'm sorry, I don't know if that's accurate, because I spoke to a Greenburgh Fire Department person and he said he didn't know about it. Just throwing that out there.
Because the thing is that, for example, Lee F. Jackson
Yes.
and Bailey
Yes.
are in the Fairview Fire District.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so whenever, even we had the, what do you call it, the taste off.
Right.
Greenburgh was involved, even Greenville, even, well, Greenville did a little bit, I'll say Hartsdale, Greenville, and Fairview were involved in the takes off.
Right.
But anytime you have something here at the high school, okay, that's community wise, okay, you got my card, call me, I make sure that the Fairview Fire.
We have a county police come, they.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I will make sure, because sometimes it is territorial, if you just say Woodlands.
So I think.
One answer to be.
And back to what you're
Greenburgh.
saying, I think being unified, like you have,
That
so
helps them.
it helps because your schools are broken down.
Right.
You know, we are one district, but everybody's in all over places. So the parents that, my kid can't play basketball, I'll put him at TDYCC or I'll put him at the town of Greenburgh. They should be playing here, but we can't, and I understand that, but if we can get some drills and skills or any kind of clinics or just some fun games
Attract
going,
people, yeah.
they'll tend to, yes.
Adonis has a question.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, no, that it's a great segue, because I was gonna ask about that, because we all know that certain modified sports programs, they do have a high demand, like modified volleyball, for example, or even boys out there that want to play volleyball. So I was just trying to figure out a way, has the district started considering a way to involve the community there to support programs and demands just like that? So it kind of ties into a lot of this.
I've done that, especially for sports that are struggling. So we now have a partnership with Elmsford Little League. 2 parents at Jackson and I think they're at now. I've been working with them the last 2 years where our numbers now have gone up in Elmsford Little League. We finally, last year, I think was the first year we had a team just from Jackson. They said in the history there, because it's a mixture, so we were talking about. So they're working with our varsity baseball coach to do clinics down at Jackson and Highview in the springtime. So that's one of the biggest things. For the other sports, Mr. Gaines has done stuff for basketball at the younger grades. And then we do have a huge number of volleyball players in 7th grade when they come here. Which this year, who's been our modified volleyball coach since I've been here, does a great job. She takes almost everybody. Unfortunately, there's some kids you can't take just because of number wise.
But as
Right. So like, oh, sorry. Just think about right now, Ms. McCoy, right? So you don't really have that much of an interest in the modified basketball for girls. Could that have been a good opportunity to maybe say, you know what, for those girls that were interested in modified volleyball that didn't get a chance to play, maybe I should try to reach out and see if someone could run something for those, for those students, since I know that modified basketball, we may not have that big demand like we did in the fall for volleyball.
Correct, and there was 48 girls that came out for modified volleyball. She took 35 of them, 36 of them. And those students were encouraged to play other sports and that were offered in the fall. It also goes back to space. We have 2 gyms for 4 volleyball teams. And then if it rains and thunders, I'm looking for a practice space for our football team and our track team. And then the question always comes up when you have other gyms to use. How are we busing them there? They have to get on a 4:30 bus. It is very difficult for me to even get a bus at 3:30 to take teams away. So getting a bus to go to Bailey like we did in the past, or Jackson, is almost impossible to do right now.
What about a van? Would they get?
It's a bus. It's not the vehicle. It's the drivers.
Yes.
It's I can't
speak to
it's weird. Today we had a modified basketball game. We only had 2 buses that were going out today. One was going to the city. One was going to Tuckahoe. The modified basketball bus showed up at 3:50 today. And Mr. Gunn and the transportation department does an excellent job, but there's so much construction going on. They get stuck going on their route, so it's very difficult.
I just think about other districts and other places. Sometimes parents help out. Did we ever think about carpooling, or would that be a liability? There are some parents that have family vans. Maybe that could chip in. I don't know. I'm just trying to think outside the box. That's all.
So we have a contract.
Parents carpool,
I don't know. I'm just saying, or the CYCC has a bus. Have we ever thought to ask them to use their bus if the senior citizens are not using it? I feel like we do have resources. Maybe we're not tapping into them the way we should. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking.
There was a
Hold on 1 second. I'm so sorry. Trustee Manager was talking. There was like 1, 2, 3 conversations.
Okay, that's okay. My thing is, we do have other transportation sources within the community. Again, TYCC has like 2 buses. I don't know what Anthony Veteran Park has. I don't know. But did we ever explore partnering up with them for transportation needs as well for some of these things?
I always thought it was a legal thing that our students can't.
We have a bus contract, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Well, the TYCC bus did pick the kids up for Cornerstone before. I don't know what happened with that. So how did that happen?
That's part of the TDYCC program that when they pick up kids.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
It goes back to that. To their
It's like you do with Bailey, like you do with
like after
Bailey.
school.
The kids after
Yeah.
school go TD,
They-
go to the bus, bring those
Okay.
kids.
Sports, that would be
Yeah,
different.
that's different.
All right.
But again, if
You can do it if you have other organizations.
By the time they got to 7th grade, you'd have more interest with girls modified basketball.
Right.
team. And again, like it goes back to starting it early enough. The kids have the experience.
What was the number of teachers for girls modified?
Volleyball?
No, for basketball, modified.
We have between 4 and 5 that should show up.
So are they playing on JV or are they not playing at all?
No, they are right now practicing and playing with our boys.
There's no JV.
So we have,
There's no JV?
No,
Not girls.
There's no JV girls?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's what was
That's
said.
an issue.
That's the problem. Yeah, that's the biggest problem, numbers. Like you say, schools like Dobbs Ferry.
They feed them from kindergarten.
Well, still, they just, like I said, it's Dobbs Ferry, and this is different. They'll have options. Here in Greenburgh, you have options. You didn't have options.
Right, but that's what the problem is. There's the options. There's Sacred Heart, there's like CYO, there's Town of Greenburgh. You're giving them options, so. Right.
But if I could say something, because I've been involved in the girls' sports world for 15 years now, sometimes we have to look outside. Looking outside is not our first choice, but we had to look outside because Greenburgh did not have enough interest to form any team. When my daughter was on Little League, there was 1 or 2 girls from Lee F. Jackson from Highview in Elmsford Little League. When she wanted to join rec, there were 3 and 1 year 4 girls where I had to reach out to the Ardsley coach and say, can you take our girls? Even the coordinator of Greenburgh rec wasn't going to go above and beyond to find a place for them. So I reached out to coaches I knew. First of all, me and a couple other moms canvassed every girl that we knew that had any interest in sports, and girls just don't want to play. So I reached out to coaches and had our Greenburgh girls put on the Ardsley team because I knew them and they did us a favor. Ardsley had 2 teams, we had 0. We had 4 girls. And this was like a chronic issue. So now, come varsity, the JV girls, there were a couple, they got moved up to varsity because there wasn't enough for a JV. There was enough for varsity with 0 subs. But it really is, it's a problem in the community. It's not based through the school because there's other options. So my daughter went to play CYO because there was no Greenburgh team for her anywhere. But she has played on more than 1 team at a time. It's not like she would pick one over another. And most of the girls that do play would do that. But it's just not, I don't know if it's the parents, the families, the cheerleading is so popular, but actually playing the sport is less popular for the girls, and I don't understand it. So I wrote that in the chat, Christina, right before you started speaking about it. So I appreciate you speaking on it. But something has to change in the mindset, either with the parents or the kids or something. I don't think the teams are small because there's a lot of different teams. I think the teams are small because there's not a lot of girls. Because
And I feel like if
when
you
the
start.
girls play at TDYCC, they're playing with girls from all over, from White Plains, from Ardsley, from Elmsford, from Mount Vernon. It's not just Greenburgh girls that went to TDYCC. Same with the boys. Same with CYO. So.
And this is not just a Greenburgh issue. This is a New York State, this is a America issue that we as our athletic director meetings speak about it. Females participation is going down. Even bigger schools have the same issue where teams are huge and other teams are smaller.
I think too, what we're not talking about is really that social emotional piece that comes with young ladies as they develop over time, and just the body image and their participation in sports too. So a lot of times what we forget is that to some degree that plays into it as well, how they feel about themselves, how they see themselves in athleticism physically. So those are things to consider too. So confidence and those type of things need to be reinforced early on with young ladies to even participate in sports.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a couple of comments in there as well. And one of them, you can read them verbatim, but one of them does talk about the type of sport that we're offering. How often are we looking at our sport offerings and when it's time to add a different sport or not? Because we talked about lacrosse, and Mr. McCoy, when Connie was in 7th grade, I sent a ton of emails about lacrosse, as well as field hockey, because when I went to Woodlands, we had field hockey. Is it possible that it could be the sports that are offered? Certain girls might there may be waves, it seems like soccer is a wave right now that a lot of kids are playing soccer, right? Could it be the type of sport that's offered?
Well, there's a few things. Number one is I allow students to advocate for themselves. 3 years ago, a bunch of female students came to me and wanted to do flag football. So my first thing was, all right, flag football is going to start. What are we going to take away from especially in the spring where there's not that many sports, and we don't provide many sports in the spring. But flag football took off, and it didn't at the time hurt any other sport. It's hurt softball a little bit now because at the time we only lost 1 softball player to flag football. But again, students are now going to go out for flag football. But I can't say that if I didn't have flag football, softball would have 30 girls, because you don't really know. Lacrosse, we've talked about this, we've had this conversation, it's also expense. You know, flag football doesn't cost a lot.
Yeah.
Soccer doesn't cost a lot. Look, I know you don't wanna hear the answer, but lacrosse, equipment costs a lot of money, and then I'm gonna order the lacrosse equipment, and 2 girls are gonna show up, or 2 boys are gonna show up the day of practice, and what are we doing with that lacrosse equipment?
You have to understand, Tracy, lacrosse for this school, okay, is not, I won't say necessity, it's not a want.
Right.
You have to understand, that's why people send kids in private school, they send them other schools. Okay, had a young lady who wanted to play volleyball, didn't like the volleyball, so she went to Greenburgh play. Okay, they went someplace else to play. Lacrosse, until you get, like the fencing team. I mean, when Ms. Biddle was here, she first started the fencing team. You know, a couple of kids went out, now you.
Exactly,
Yeah,
I'm glad you said that,
but
because when you say something is not a want, I'm not the type of person that likes to hear don't. I like to hear how do we offer, because like you said, as I was thinking about the fencing, Ms. Biddle, it was not a popular thing. She liked fencing, she brought it to the school, it was not a big thing, it has grown. So my thing is always offer it. You will remember when we had no cheerleaders, like you said, there's 30-something cheerleaders now. And I'm not saying what I'm saying is popular, but I'm gonna be honest. We had very few cheerleaders. There were a little bit of cheerleaders that almost didn't run. And my point of view was always run it and see if it will come. And it did, it grew again. It had went down and then it grew again. To me, when it comes to lacrosse, I think of possibilities. How do we make things work? Do we get a little bit of equipment for lacrosse, do it at RJ Bailey, see if you have cohorts of kids interested. When you see kids are interested, and then you try to offer it at modified and see how it goes. But to say that the kids don't want it, if they're never exposed to it, how do they know they want it? It's the same thing with the chess program we used to have. Oh, the kids in Greenburgh don't play chess, but we had a booming chess program when we offered it. Kids, go ahead, sorry.
Sorry, no, that was a perfect idea. They should introduce it at the younger grades, because something like lacrosse, which is super athletic, you can't have a 7th or 8th grader just trying it for the first time, but then actually competing against a team where their modified team has been playing it all throughout elementary school. Because then when you just lose game after game after game, that student is not coming back to that team the next year. That takes a hit on their confidence. It's going to take a hit on them physically. That needs to be brought in at a younger grade, because some sports that are that physically challenging, they have to have some education in the sport. They have to know what it entails and have the athleticism to perform. Otherwise, 1, they're going to get hurt, and 2, their confidence is going to get hurt.
And that's an option to open it up to RJ Bailey as like a clinic or like some ideas.
Yeah, if you hear an idea, I'm about looking at how do you make it work? What are options and opportunities to make it work, as opposed to it doesn't work? And I see a question there. Are the students involved with deciding on the type of sports offered? That's a great question.
And that's the question I said, I let students advocate for themselves. This spring, I'm running a survey that I'm gonna send out to the students about the athletic programs that we do offer here, and seeing what students want, they're looking for. But you know, also again, it's not, you know, we can't offer, you know, lacrosse this year and next year say we're not doing it. It's just, you know, we want to build on it. We did do a youth lacrosse program here with we did it in the high school or in the middle school probably 5 or 6 years ago, and it was great for the first 2 weeks, and then it fizzled. You know, we talk about, you know, how we're doing the community as not having a feeder programs. I don't even know lacrosse.
Lacrosse is more of it's more of a club type situation,
right,
where that's the kind of kid who plays lacrosse. He plays more in clubs, unless he has like for example, Yorktown is known for lacrosse. So they have to feed the program. It's like Mount Vernon's doing that.
Like we're just
They gotta
offering,
feed
are the
it.
kids gonna play it?
When you have to go to Orford, you got certain kids
Right,
who wanna do it as a club situation. They get to the high school, if you don't have enough,
right.
okay, and if they're very good, somebody might snatch them off, or the parent will sit there and send their kid to a school where they can play lacrosse.
Correct.
You know, that's just sports, you know, all across the board. Not saying it can't happen, okay, but here, just back in Greenburgh, I don't know of any so-called lacrosse program. You know, even with TDYCC, you know, unless we go to Edgemont, because they're a school that has lacrosse, they have lacrosse, but some of the other schools you look at, you know, our baby school, I hate to say baby school, but our component schools, Elmsford. Whatever Elmsford kind of has, we kind of have. And because the communities are almost similar and like in numbers and everything else, and then it's numbers. Like you said, if you have, right now, the big thing is girls flag football. That thing is took off to the point where that I guarantee you that if you want to add a new sport, that's going to be the next sport that you're going to have that's different. You know, will it take away from other sports? Like he said, who knows? Who knows? But you're going to have a lot more numbers where that, you know, you can sit back and have a cover and say, hey, well, you have 15 girls to play. So that means the girls are not playing. They either have to play softball or run track and field or choose other sports. So
Can you scroll up, cause I don't wanna miss
Sure.
the comments, people are participating and we don't, do you wanna read the comments? Go all the way up.
All the way up, Nicole Donnell, everyone at 7:52.
When
Okay,
I did check marks, that we already did those, so.
No,
okay.
yes, okay, here.
We go all the way up, sure.
new messages is where it starts.
Does the Booster Club have to help support the parents to possibly assist with the planning?
Do we have to?
No,
Does the Booster
Booster
Club
Club have the help, support of the parents to possibly assist with the planning? Not really. Like,
Okay.
just to be honest, no.
I mean, pretty much all the teams that have done fundraising have come right from the coaches. They'll reach out to us and be like, we did this fundraiser, this is our deposit, this is what we need to pay for. And that's how it's been working. We haven't heard from any parents, no, I know Mike has given our email and phone number out to a couple of parents that had interest, but we've never heard.
Okay,
I was just gonna say, the sports U, once my son was done with the modified football, I deleted it from my phone, so I didn't know, I mean, if there was any announcement from sports U, that was the only thing. I didn't see
Well,
it.
that's because the Booster Club is only for athletes. It's not like a PTA where it's gonna be announced all over the school district. We're just doing it for the sports.
Right, well, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
that,
no.
you know, like once
That's
this
where we
report was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't have it, otherwise, and I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Right.
So that, you know, I would have been out here supporting you.
Of course, no, I know, yeah, and the other fundraisers we do that, you know, the chili taste off, we did advertise that we received permission to do so, and we put it through all the schools.
There are conversations about some website development to include community organizations with this PTA. Sorry, Miguel.
Yep.
And the Booster Club, the Rotary, those type of things, just because of the fact that that's just another alternate way for even a outside person who might visit our website can see or find out information.
Trustee Mans, we see your hand up. Let's just go through the comments very quickly, because it's not fair when we don't let people participate.
varsity basketball and varsity softball are looking for assistance for fundraising, and each team has a few parents will to help organize. We need ideas and be told steps how to execute, and then we will.
Alright, so those parents can either have their coach reach out to us, or they can reach out to us, you know, directly.
That's why we ask 1 or 2 parents per team, that way it doesn't get out of hand. As a team, they can discuss what they'd like to do and bring it to us, or they can just discuss it with us and we'll help them.
Is there an FNBC email address or something?
Well,
that
right now
you
it's
can-
just our email, since there's just 2 of us.
Sure, okay.
And that's about, so in the beginning, what we did is for the first year, we had not meet monthly meetings, we had every 2 or 3 months we would
Yes.
meet, but it would just be the 3 of us.
Yeah.
And we invite the parents, so we invite the parents, and maybe that's something that we can do and send that out.
Meeting.
We send that out
Yeah.
to, through school messenger, like that, not just through sports, you would hold a meeting
That's fine,
at the
that's
beginning
fine.
of
But
the year.
they have to come, like, and I'm not trying to say it in a disrespectful way, but, they'll complain. And then when we're here and we're saying this is our meeting, nobody shows up.
Or we have a meeting,
Nobody
nobody
shows up, when Mike puts it out there, like the booster club's gonna be there, come ask all your questions, come ask about the money, come ask what they're doing.
Right.
And we show up. And there's no interest, right?
Okay.
So Mike, I'm down for that.
What can we do to promote girls' sports in younger grades? It is always difficult to field.
We saw
I
that.
think we've done that,
Yes.
okay. Girls' basketball, softball, we talked about this one. I totally agree. We lose students to other schools, etc., because our younger children cannot play. It could be the sports because of the flag football attracted lots of girls. Okay, we've gone through all this. We don't offer lacrosse yet. That's a good sport that attracts a large girl base, and we went off, talked about that. I was just going to say the same thing. Last year, the flag football took off, and said that. Are the students involved with deciding the type of sports offered? And okay, you're gonna have the survey, and you're going to look at the survey results and adjust accordingly? How strapped in are we, how locked in are you?
What?
Well, yeah, we just said that, they just said the spring of center survey. We have to also look at again, as I said before, we can't just put out a survey and students want, X sport, we just can't offer, we have to look at every budget, we have to look at participation, what it's gonna hurt. Like boys volleyball right now is a big thing in New York State the last few years. A lot of the small schools, Elmsford, myself, LaFell, we all have males that are interested in it, but we all don't have the space. And it's a fall sport, it should be a spring sport. Like we've proposed in New York State to move it to the spring. In the spring, I would offer, it'd be great, the gym is open, right, so those are those things that we're trying to work around to do. We've done intramurals with boys volleyball to encourage them. So things like that, we're trying to look outside the box to do.
Okay, so what happens is you get a survey and it starts to, like you see a trend.
Correct, yeah.
And then it starts to influence what you do, and it may take some time to change what you're doing. Okay. Again, if you start the younger grades, it will allow you to see what sports the kids are interested in. Example, if they start lacrosse at the younger age, all right, we have the same discussion. Can we develop closer relationships with town-sponsored clinics and sports?
And that's what with Greenburgh, with Elmsford Little League, we have a partnership now with. We've also done some things with the Greenburgh Rec, with the basketball. Our cheerleading has done a lot with, and just got a program, like a specific.
We get to cheer.
Yeah. We have parents that have young cheerleaders that come in and cheer with the girls.
Wait, when you said about the Little League, now is that for the younger schools that you're
Yes.
sending them over there?
Jackson and I do.
No, that's great, but again, we have the facilities at RJ Bailey and Highview, if they wanna do a lacrosse or they wanna do a soccer, bring them there, let them do it there. That way it involves the school.
Is there, sorry.
Yeah, no,
is there any
Highview
way
does,
to
but
have-
RJ Bailey's, yeah.
But is there any way to have after school, I remember when my son, who's now in college, I wanna say it was 5th or 6th grade, so he was at Bailey. It was maybe a 3-week, 4-week, after school golf program.
Yeah,
So,
he did that.
I don't remember.
Was that game on?
I don't remember. who
Probably
it
was
was.
Van Diver, probably.
It was literally 4 weeks.
Yeah,
And there was an after school program.
yeah.
And, they went and played golf, and at that point, he kind of got interested in it. He didn't kind of take it any further, but it was something that. I didn't waste money, it was something he was interested in, he tried it, he liked it for that 4 weeks, and that was it. So I know a lot of it has to come, has a lot to do with budget, but is there any way in those younger schools to have some kind of even if it's a 4-week program, an introductory to certain sports?
So
Right,
can we offer that?
Because I know RJ Valley just did something new where they did a dance class, a hip hop dance. That they offered this year, they never offered it before.
Right,
It's
that's
after
through the
school.
arts.
So maybe you know, you're trying to get girls into sports, maybe bring in some lacrosse or something else into the younger schools rather than
that. Or if it was Mr. Van Diver.
Well, I think a lot of it was also too, as I remember that, a lot of it too was because of his connections that he had, number one, with Metropolis, okay? Or maybe the golf range, because we do the same thing in my organization. We have a summertime for golf. We have to give it 6 weeks that we go for the golf. But, you know, it's just something where that, when you say dance, because sometimes, you know, you start looking at the sports, dance is easy to start because it's not monetarily. You say lacrosse, that's equipment, okay?
First of all, I looked into, back when Connie was in 7th grade, I looked into, because New Rochelle had made a commitment to bring lacrosse into their school district. They made they put the money into it, they made a commitment, not saying we have to do that here. But I looked into finding out there were companies that would donate lacrosse equipment. And so, and I always look at possibility, not preventative situation. And so if we wanted to do something like that, I mean, I don't know, I know at the younger grades, they do their gym classes, the phys ed classes, they do sports.
That's what I was.
Like for a couple of weeks at a time. Could they do golf? Could they do lacrosse? I mean, we have a varsity golf team here that plans to go down to, didn't they talk to you about it? Plans to go down to RJ Bailey and do clinics. So, I mean, it's equipment, yes, but if you do it through the phys ed class or something after school for a couple of weeks, that's equipment we can monitor and keep, and you don't have to buy a whole team.
And I feel like doing it in the younger schools, it's preparing them for when they come here that they'll show interest in what sport. Oh, I remember I learned this and play this.
Yeah.
Right, rather than bring them here and then say, well, what sport do you want to play? And if they know nothing about volleyball or lacrosse, they're not gonna pick it. And again, girls go through stages in their life where they don't want to play a certain sport because of how they're feeling, how they look. So we start them young and they work at it. Like when our boys started with basketball, they started in 3rd grade. CYO, they started.
They want PE unit and.
No, I'm just wondering, I don't know if that's something
And
they
some
could do in
equipment for-
PE
Yeah, okay.
or not, maybe they can't, I don't know.
Well,
They do.
The equipment will use that way.
Yeah.
Right, he's looking at the nightmare scenarios. You spend your budget on this equipment and 2 people show up and the
Right.
rest of it lays there, right?
Makes sense.
But if it's a PE unit, then everybody uses it.
Right.
But wait, didn't Adonia have something to say? Just, yeah, Adonia, but before.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah,
3 questions. Mr. McCoy, I wanted to go back. Now, you mentioned there was something you started and 2 weeks in, it started to fizzle. What sport was that again? You started something 5 years ago, you said. Huh?
I'm trying to think of what I said.
You just said it like 10 minutes ago. Lacrosse, sorry. So,
Lacrosse.
when it fizzled, did you explore
sorry.
why?
We did it, it was it wasn't a club, it was a club, it was like, you know, that, and the teachers were volunteering at the time, 2 staff members volunteered to do it. You know, the first day or 2, they had 20 kids and then it just fizzled from there. We actually had equipment that was donated, at the time, but it didn't go anywhere.
That was the thing. So when you saw it fizzling, did you kind of do a deep dive to figure out why over 2 weeks that kind of happened?
Yes, because students were playing another sport and couldn't commit to doing that and then playing the other sport. You know, in section 1, this is my meetings, I think we're doing a service, especially at our school. You can't play 2 sports a season. And I think that a school like us would benefit tremendously. You have to monitor, you have to do it, but I think it would be great if we would be able to do that. New York State allows it, but section 1 doesn't allow it. And I just think it would hurt. Like we could have basketball players running track. We could have tennis players, girls or boys, either playing baseball or softball in the spring or, you know, doing another sport in the fall.
Okay, gotcha. The other question I had is, in the event that you can actually find a sport and bring it to the district, what is the turnaround time for starting that once you find out that information?
Say it again, I'm sorry, say it again.
Turnaround time.
To start
Start a new sport.
To start a sport, it's, well, obviously it would have to be something where we'd have to look at when we do budgets for the following year. Depending, you know, hiring a new coach, if we don't have it already in the contract, equipment that we need to hire, purchase and uniforms that we have to purchase.
All right, so it's not like a 2-year time frame to me, but.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, like flag football, we had a quick turnaround because we planned it in the spring of the previous year, and we had it up and going next year. Because we could, we put it in the budget for a coach and for uniforms, and that's only we needed because at the time when flag football was starting, the New York Giants gave school district grants and money and things like that. Like we got the flags donated, we got footballs donated, so it was a minimal cost.
Okay, yeah, and I was getting ready to go there is if you do have new programs, is there opportunities for grants to help fund that at all?
Absolutely. The one thing
That's good to know.
with
Let's promote the sports we have.
Well, we
Especially for
could,
the
but you
girls.
see nobody wants to play basketball. I don't know.
I know,
So
but
that's the thing.
basketball is like the most general sport where I'm sure girls play with their brothers, they play with their friends, they play, you know, at the park, but they don't want to play for school.
Deb, I'm gonna be transparent with you. My daughter did not want to play because it's too rough. It's a lot of contact. So it looks like fun with brothers and sisters, but when you get on the court and you play with some aggressive girls, that's a whole nother ball game. It could be too much. Could be. So maybe some of our students don't want that contact anymore.
Okay, I believe I think it was Miguel. There's a couple of things in the log, and then we gotta go to Kelly Jones.
Read them
Okay.
quickly so that.
So, can scouts be sent to better assess and collect input from Greenburgh Central parents that partake in these? A large portion of sports are played by students from Spanish-speaking families. Is that being addressed? Or are all comms in English?
That's true.
So no,
Are the soccer communications?
English is bad, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And all my emails that go out about the registration and the advertising of sports that go out weeks before the season starts are in English and Spanish.
Okay. And the idea to have a general sports session in RJ Bailey is a great idea because you can get a feel of where things are going ahead of the kids going to Woodlands. But honestly, I started my son and daughters playing soccer since pre-K.
You know what? I'm sorry. I have an idea. I'm all about meeting and greeting and stuff like that. Mr. McCoy, I know you have your SCL night. That comes up in the spring. Do you think it might be a good idea for that to be an opportunity to introduce everyone to all the sports we do have to offer because I know a lot of people come from the different schools and things like that, just to give them an introduction, to show them the programs and spark some interest that way too?
Great idea.
Yeah, with this piece of sports equipment for every sport.
Oh, Trustee Warner, stop that. Not like that. But like, you know, and have the coaches out there to start talking to parents and stuff like that, you know?
Bring couple of students per sport.
That too. Yeah. Maybe when people see it, that can help you out too.
Absolutely.
It's Kelly Johnson.
Kelly Johnson.
All right, I have a quick question and work with me as I go through this. But I know, for example, with the soccer, because my son plays soccer, they offered a travel option where they were able to utilize some of our fields, I think. But they encouraged the students in the soccer team to specifically try out. There was like a perk, so to speak, for Woodlands students. Can we do more things like that? Like, so when the town has like the offers for sports, sort of like the camp type of thing, if they utilize our facilities, we would get maybe, I don't know, we could promote it to our students first, but then we keep encouraging it. So then maybe all the costs won't necessarily fall upon us if we're offering it as a town sport or program, but it would still be housed in our buildings. I don't know how that works, but I know the idea of doing that with travel was like a pretty big thing for the soccer team, and that's something we could probably do even in younger grades as well. I don't know how that works, so if someone could explain that.
And that's the big thing is travel sports are just as big as feeder programs, but they're expensive. And a few years ago, we had the discussion of, we had a lot of the increase of soccer participation When Tyler and I sat down talking, and we talked about it's so expensive to play in a travel soccer, how can we fix that? And that's why we now offer this travel program for our students. We have had conversations with other sports and other programs. With basketball, Mr. Gaines does some things with travel basketball that he gives the opportunity for our students to play male and female. Working with the town would have to be something totally above me.
Our community is split, that's why.
Yeah, the town, I say,
When CEC had the football, our football, we had 40, 50 kids on our varsity football team every single year. And once that went down, we lost everyone.
I think
That was a feeder program because majority of the kids who played there were actually Greenburgh Woodland students.
Correct.
You know, so they played because there was no football. Then once you started modified, as time was modified went on a little bit, it kind of took away from, because those kids could play all the way up to 8th grade. But mostly, you know, you play JV. We had a JV. We didn't have a JV, matter of fact. It was strictly varsity. So those kids had something to do and play. But then, like I said before, the good kids would get snatched up. They would go somewhere.
And then come back.
You know, and but now, like I said, you know, when Mr. Mead was here, Coach Mead was here in football. We have very good retention rate because it's a good football program. You know, we were winning. You know, we won a couple of sectionals, and you know, we had a lot of people. You know, basketball right now. You know, same thing to basketball there, but basketball has been the easy sport because there's always been the avenues for basketball for certain kids to do. And you know, the average kid here, you know, I always encourage kids to stay. Why you gonna go someplace else? Like you can see, kids go someplace else, they end right back, right? They should have been the whole time, you know. But that's individual choices. That's parents. When it comes to sports, you know, a lot of it is apparent.
Well, I think a good idea too is when she mentioned a CL event.
Yeah.
What you could do is to get more children interested, such as the girls especially, have the flag football, have the girls basketball team there to talk to them. Like, let them know what, you know, to expect, how fun it is. You know, like, they want to hear it from kids their age, not their mom saying, go pick a sport.
And do parents know, you have Miguel there that, you have Miguel there that said he had his kid in soccer since pre-K.
Yeah.
And parents know the correlation that early on between mental, physical health, grades. There's an increase in grades in kids who play sports. So that all around benefit. Are parents thinking about that? Some may, you know, we might have been since our kids did sports, but not all parents know and think about that so early on. So giving that education early and encouraging the parents to put their kids in programs earlier.
It's a good thing.
It's helpful.
And I wouldn't even mind, it is going to PTA meetings.
Right.
To publicize this with athletes. You know,
But I think it's also with the kids though, because the kids are the ones that are gonna pick the sports and play. Like, if you're not having an interest in modified girls, maybe the varsity girls should be like, yeah, start off modified, it's fun. Like, you know, maybe it is a little hard and, you know, like rough, but there are some girls that wanna play, but maybe are intimidated.
Right.
So hearing from other girls their age, it's there.
Is that Swavey Lipton?
Hi, good evening, everyone. I just want to circle back to the survey with respect to what different programs you like list in the survey. And I would go along with what Tracy said, just put everything in there, whether we think we can afford it or not, put it there, put it on the survey. And if that is a selection that rises to the top, then we say, let's see how we can figure this out to get this, because this seems to be what people want, rather than saying, oh, we won't put this on the survey because that's just too costly.
Okay. Adonia.
Yes, sorry, I had to get off mute. I don't know if you guys addressed this, but does this mean, since I feel like all this is good conversation, there's definitely a game plan in place, does that mean we'll follow up maybe with the town leaders and try to figure out how to get some of these feeder programs going? Does that sound like an option? Because I think it's a great opportunity.
Trustee Warner's writing.
Okay, and I'll be honest with you, Ms. McCoy, I believe you'll have the support. So Dr. Chisholm, when you came to TYCC as part of your tour, there was like 40, 50 people there ready to support the district. So Ms. McCoy, I think you will have the support if you need it. It's just now to start socializing and having the conversations, I think.
Okay.
And I can support you with that, Mr. McCoy.
TDYCC it is. Okay, I think we're done.
Trustee Warner?
Yes.
And now, if we're done with athletics, do you mind if I share, just to give an update for the state of the schools? I do have to leave by 5 o'clock and I don't want to miss the opportunity.
Yes, go ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wait, which number is,
I think it's under item 7.
7, okay, you're gonna jump to 7 and come back. That's how you work.
So I just wanted to,
You have some comments?
Oh, there's more comments. Oh.
What are the official website for the Booster Club?
We do not have a website.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying
We're
to.
trying to get that together.
Okay, Miguel, you wanna ask that question?
Yeah, I do simply because I'm on the site now and both of them have been out of date since 2022.
Dr. Chisholm said y'all are having a meeting on Friday. This might be on the agenda.
it's on the agenda.
I don't know. I'm a parent tonight, so I can't speak.
Oh, Mr. Berrio. It's working with the technology team. You're having a meeting on Friday.
Tell us about the state of the district.
So I wanted to share with the community January 14th, at 7 p.m. during the Community Engagement Committee meeting. I will be holding my State of the Schools address mid-year, just where we are, what we've accomplished, and what we need to do moving forward. The so what, now what, at the mid-year point. Originally, it was scheduled for which building? I can't recall.
You want to do it, you know, RJ Bailey Auditorium?
Yes, but it would now be held at the RJ Bailey in the auditorium.
Okay.
So, yes, January 14th, 7 at RJ Bailey Auditorium. Just more comfortable seating, presentation style. We are inviting several community members to this event. And I know you had asked about presenters. It will primarily me, and if there are some things that each of the cabinet members want to discuss as part of their bodies of work, but it's really going to be talking about where we are at this point as it relates to the pillars and the strategic plan.
Okay.
I would definitely love to hear, and Dr. Chisholm structured how you like, but I would love to hear, since we have such new folks in your cabinet, how they're working to fit into their work is going into.
It's all going to be interwoven. Oh, yes. The alignment will be there.
Is there more comments? I feel like I saw red.
Alexis Del Sol, you've had your hand up forever.
Is it about?
I'm so sorry to interrupt the meeting with things that are not related to your agenda. So I don't want to, I respectfully will wait until you guys are, yep, we're done with all of our business, and then we could talk to something slightly off topic.
Okay.
Okay.
I put it in, but I respect what you guys are doing here tonight.
Thank you so much. We're going to circle back to it for sure.
So will you publicize this thing
Yes,
in
it will
addition
be-
to invitations?
It will be publicized. It's also going to be in, look for the monthly superintendent newsletter, Soaring Together. So it'll be in that as well. I'm trying to think of where else. But yes, it will be publicized.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
It'll be a standalone on the website as well.
I look forward to it. Okay, we're gonna have to blaze at high speed through the remainder of this agenda because it's 8:36. I didn't realize how popular this discussion was.
That was a good conversation.
I didn't know when I saw your, I was like, trying to understand.
Okay.
Want to take Miss Alexis's topic first, or you want to go through?
I want to get through these things. She said she wanted to do it at the end. Okay. State test scores.
Thank you, Dr. Chisholm.
Thank you.
Thank you. So bring up, we'll just go through it quickly because we can do it address any questions, the state of the state, state of the district of it. There are a couple of,
LA math scores.
yeah, one is 2024 and one is 2025.
This is.
And this is 2024. This is last year. Okay, so we were looking at how we're doing in ELA relative to the New York State average and to other local districts with similar demographics. And you can see we're going from 2018. Yeah, back up.
Sorry.
All right, we're going from 2018. You see the green line at the top. That's us recovering from COVID, and we think maybe we did something right. So we did better than the New York State average. Is the thick blue line. So while it was going down, we plateaued and we got up. Ossining is the line down there at the bottom, and White Plains and Terrytown are kind of there in the middle. But we were, doing better than the local average. All right. So now this year, go to the other. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Go back. And then in math, yeah. All right. This one page, yeah. And then the alternate pages show the actual numbers. Okay. So in math, the same thing, right? To see the green line, we didn't start out at the top, but we moved up quickly. The green line is us. The blue line is the New York State average, and the other, Elmsford, Ossining, Terrytown, White Plains, we're there. Okay, so life looks like we were doing well compared to the competition. Now let's look at this year. Okay, so we've got ELA. You'll see, I believe that is Elmsford is jumping up from the New York State average is gone. Everybody's gone up a little bit, and we have too. But we come out with a lead, and so we're staying above the average. And Elmsford is coming up with us at on ELA, and then go a couple pages forward. And then in math, you see we actually declined a little bit. And so I was going to ask, what's going on with that? But it may be that our math coordinator position is still open, and that may be having an effect. So we're still, we're basically right at the New York State average at this point, and that's where we're at. Like I said, anybody want to comment?
You don't really want to hear my comment, not,
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Recent events, winter concerts.
Your pictures?
Yeah, I have pictures. We'll just flip through. Let's flip through all the pictures. Okay. Start at the family coding night. There's 7 pictures of that. Right, there's a large group of kids.
How was it?
Went to family coding night, and there were various things. Many of the things are the things that I remember from our science fair last year. There was a large coding contingency. There's the young kids with the caterpillars, right? You plan out the route for the robot in advance, and it follows depending upon the what's written in felt pen, because it can read the color of the felt pen and act accordingly. And you can get very elaborate once you get going. And then those are the dot and dash robots that have been in Highview for several years. Okay, keep going. And this is the ECP kids, right? So they trained, they gave the ECP kids a little training here at the beginning. Right, so they got, and there's the dot and dash thing where you say, okay, move forward, move to the right. Go ahead, and then.
This is a video. That's awesome.
Okay, the videos. We had a series of winter concerts. I believe the R.J. Bailey winter concert happens after the break, but the
you're right.
Woodlands Middle School concert and the Woodlands High School concert have happened, and you were there. and you provided some videos of that. So
Videos of the middle school.
Please not be dog.
sure, try it. Yeah.
Dancing.
Yeah, some moves, some moves.
Mandarin.
For the
Mandarin?
middle or high school?
Was that middle school?
That was middle.
Oh, middle school, oh.
That was Mr. Dennison.
Oh, Mr. Dennison, is Mr. Kennedy still?
Yes.
Yes.
High school.
Yes. You wanna say anything?
I'm sorry?
Say anything.
No, they were both great concerts. We have very talented students here, and the middle school chorus is like 80 kids deep. It's a big chorus.
What wants to say?
Let's see, Felice Navidad. You name go ahead. Yeah, so they're together, they're
high school chorus?
That's middle school.
Who's high school chorus?
Same director.
The same teacher does.
Miss
Oh,
Doc-
oh, okay.
Yeah,
if you wanna go, yeah. Okay, so let's see, what else we got? High-view reading, here, let's just flip through those. Okay, so you put on your pajamas and read, basically with sleeping bags, right? And here are the high-view students doing just that. Taylor Swift, Wolf Wander, yeah, okay. Facilities, the water project continues. They're down past the driveway that goes to the athletic field. So they're coming to the home stretch of what they can do.
getting there.
Okay.
Plus, I know.
Okay, what's next? There's a mom here, I haven't met, did she drop off?
Yeah, Tracy, she had to go put her kids to bed, but I know the issue that she's referring to in the chat.
I like community engagement, that's why I was waiting.
Right.
So we have such a.
Okay, then we have Woodlands Winter Concert. We have some pictures. We can go, yeah, okay. Right, so there's the course there. And the concert band. And yeah, okay, keep going.
On sides.
Right, and then a little bit of. Should be the jazz band.
Just have these, I don't see
There he is,
it's
okay,
yeah.
yes, he's a soloist, he sings and he plays the saxophone, okay. Isn't that? Cinco?
Yes.
And then the little map there, in the middle of, yeah, there. That's yeah, that's progress on the Right.
Oh, it's a tiny bit left.
There's a little tiny bit left here, the yellow and the right, that's what they've gotta do, and then they gotta connect both ends. And the key will be, is there a problem connecting? And the answer is is no on the right, and then the part over by Stone Oaks is, we'll see how it goes. Right, okay, good. Okay, so back to the agenda, boom. Upcoming events, you can read that at your leisure. Basically, we have a group of committee meetings, some board meetings, and we talked about the PTA Council Panera donation. So the PTA Council every year has little scholarships for teachers who have projects that they want to do, and then they need a little bit of funding, right? And so what they're doing is allowing us on the December 19th is the day we go off on a holiday recess, and you can go between 4 and 8 p.m. to Panera, and a portion of the proceeds will go to the scholarship for the teachers. So mark your calendar. And there's fun for you is when you order is the thing that you need to write. I think they have it in Spanish. Could you put up the Spanish version? And it's a PDF. Yeah.
What day is that again?
The 19th.
19th.
Okay. I should also mention that, well, I don't have any pictures. The Lee F. Jackson and Highview roofing projects are going to happen. Well, we'll see if we can get it to happen this spring, okay? So that we don't have to cancel, moves the summer camps out. That's under negotiation at the moment. Then under organizing alumni, there's an alumni spotlight. We did one last time for an art teacher, and now we've got Tara Parker, who's a reading teacher at Lee F. Jackson. So there should be a little, it's called Tara Parker. There. Okay, there's Tara Parker, and she's so she, went away and said, I always wanted to come back, and because the people who raised me instilled a sense of confidence and community involvement, and created a sense of pride and belonging that stayed with me until long after I graduated. So that's her story. So she's been here, got tenure long ago. So there's still that same sense of warmth when you walk through the halls, the same feeling that everyone knows you, sees you, and genuinely cares about your growth. So there's a great testimonial. Okay. And I did email Lisa Nero and didn't get a response in terms of organizing alumni. Something comes back, I'll let you know. Outreach to non-parents. We cut the talent shows out of that list, but left Read Across America, the Woodlands and RJ Bailey musicals, the art shows, and the fitness center, tennis courts and track, where we're working on that. So and we need to try cable TV in addition to the other media, the online media and social media. So as each of these events comes up, we ought to see what we can do about promoting them and publicizing them beyond the school. And that's pretty much that. So we have a chart here of we've got three blanks left in our chart, right? And I believe you have some suggestions for those blanks in Tracy in your spreadsheet. But the next one is the State of this District event with Dr. Chisholm. We discussed having a holiday party and couldn't do it, in the time frame. So this was okay. We'll move the holiday party kind of thing to January. So we're gonna try that and
Change
see what we
of,
can.
change of location to RJ.
Change of location to RJ Bailey. RJB. Okay, good. And that's it. List of past events, minutes. The second document in this, or after the end of the agenda, go to the minutes. Community Engagement Committee minutes.
Can we maybe hear from people on the call before we do the minutes, or?
Do I hear a motion to adopt the minutes?
So moved.
Seconds.
All in favor? Aye. Done with the minutes. Okay, now, the call. This is the part we open up the floor, and people can come up with new topics. And
I just sent in a new chat. If we could backtrack briefly. I know I've been in contact with Mr. McCoy, and I think another mom just recently sent an email to the board about the softball scoreboard. Has that been discussed at all? Will that be operational for the spring season? It's been out of commission for 2 seasons now.
And the person to answer that question is Mike McCoy.
He has left.
Who has left.
He left?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we did this. Okay, so we will check with Mike McCoy.
You can tell him all right, thank you.
Yeah, I didn't reply to that email because Dr. Chisholm is on it. So she's with the administration that is operational, and Mr. McCoy can answer that question. Did he reply to your email?
So I didn't send that email. I know Ms. Marzella sent it. I don't know if he replied. He didn't reply all, if that was the case, but I've been in face-to-face communication with him. So the last time I asked him about it, he told me about revamping the field for a turf field. So he didn't want to purchase one prematurely, set it up, and then they're going to redo the field and change the position and whatnot. But the field is going to remain as is for the spring season, and there's a scoreboard there. So we need it looked at, repaired if necessary. It might just need light bulbs. It might need a new plug. It might be gone forever. Like, we don't know. So he told me he was going to have somebody check on it, but I've been asking him this since last spring. So I don't want this spring to come around and it's not done. For a long time, he could.
I will ask, and I will see if I can get a response. And if I do get a response, I have a facilities committee in 2 days, and we'll see.
So
I would like to go back to Alexis's comment. She did text me. She had to put her kids to bed. What she put in the comment section is an issue that's happening at Bailey right now. I can only speak about one of the classrooms that my son is in. There is no heat in the classroom, and it is extremely cold. And from my understanding today, the classroom felt like it was an ice box. It's hard for the children to learn. The teacher tried to move them down to the library and then to the iLab, but it was not really a productive day because she didn't have her materials to teach. And then from my understanding, this classroom has not had heat since last year. It was used more for specials. So here we are a year later, and there's no heat. And as she put in her comments, that we did receive an email that 53 students did visit the nurse today for sore throats, fevers, etc. So I know we can't send our kids to school when they're sick, but it could be possible that some are getting sick because they are in a classroom with no heat. It is freezing cold.
What floor is the classroom on?
That is the first floor. In the corner, it's by this one.
Is it like when you drive in, or the other corner when you exit?
When you come in, you go up the steps, you make a left. So it's to the left side, past the office, one of those classrooms.
Yeah, we drive around.
Okay. You don't, you know the room number, or is it's somebody's room, you know the name of the teacher?
Yes, Miss Rogers.
Okay.
Miss Rogers.
Yeah, she's at, do you know
She
Ms.
moved
Rogers?
from Highview
She's at-
to Bailey.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
She's my cousin now?
that gives me enough information to go
Yeah,
forward.
Mom.
All right, we'll look at it and let's see, who should I respond? Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead, you're gonna respond to her comment. I just wanted to let you know the superintendent is aware. We did receive an email today specifically about the temperature. So I suppose the superintendent will be responding to the email. Let me just make sure she's on it.
Yeah.
Okay, she is. Yeah.
Okay, so she's got an email to respond to.
Actually, I'm looking, it's addressed to the principal, so maybe the principal will be the one to respond.
Mr. Slickpen, he's
Huh?
the maintenance guy.
Yeah, but there are issues in that building.
I'm not
with
gonna-
certain.
Yeah.
Well, you're facilities chair, so I know you know
Yeah,
those issues.
right, so you don't step on
Yeah.
the administration's ability to
respond,
do things,
Mhm.
but you encourage the administration to do
Mhm.
things. Okay, good.
And this also, from my understanding, the teacher has brought this up a number of times and nothing has been rectified yet. So I think that's why it's becoming of a concern to the parents. Some parents are thinking about maybe not sending their kids for the rest of the week because the kids have already been out sick and now are supposed to come back to school tomorrow. So they're thinking about not sending their children. So it's bigger than just the email coming out, because I'm one of the people that did send an email. So it's not just about today, it's about a teacher who is trying to advocate for her classroom and her children, and it has gone unnoticed.
Thank you. Okay, is there anything else?
I am so sorry. I was answering your question and I completely lost signal.
Okay.
I went through a whole spiel and I realized I was frozen.
All right, you're gonna have to repeat your spiel. So tell me again.
Okay, so the scoreboard has been out for the past 2 seasons at least. And I spoke to Mr. McCoy and he assured us that it would either be repaired or replaced for this upcoming spring season. But the last I spoke to him was right before winter season, and he had not had a chance to check it because there was so much construction back there. But now the construction is cleared up, so I hope it will be addressed before spring season starts. We don't want to go another season without a scoreboard.
Okay. Thank you.
Is the softball field still at the right behind that?
Thank you.
Yeah, it's on the tennis court. So they were constructing the tennis court as the right, as the year began, and then we had a tennis court opening. And so now
She mentioned turf. Is that the football field? Or is that the softball field? It's gonna be turf.
she's talking, the football field's gonna be, it is turf.
Softball.
It's gonna be new turf, okay?
On the football field.
The football field, but the football field is also a soccer field. It's lined as a soccer.
Yeah, I'm saying with the softball still gonna be a grass field.
Yeah.
Okay, I just
Yes.
wanted.
Now, there is a drainage issue.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think we were gonna not donate, we were gonna designate that some of our budget would go towards making sure that the field has good drainage.
Yes.
Okay, and we had limited funds. So the question is the funding that was gonna be for the scoreboard towards drainage? So I've gotta go find out.
Okay, so I think Mr. McCoy has plans to redo that softball field because one, it's kind of a hazard. There's like dips and guys that you can't see when you're in the grass until the kids are actually running on it. I believe the baseball field is the same. So he had said to me he didn't want to replace it at this time if they were going to redo the fields and change the positioning, the angling of them. But I mean, it could still be looked at to see. It might just be a simple repair.
Right. Okay.
Thank
you. The administration's got to take it. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna circle back. I'm gonna find out. Okay.
Yeah, because do we have a partnership with The fell school though? We use it in their facility, or we don't use
Well,
it?
you mean for tennis when we didn't have courts?
Well, I'm
He's
talking
saying
about,
to use it for.
you have to watch the softball, they have a problem with the softball field, because the field is not safe and it floods. You know, maybe you can talk to, as a school decision, talk to, Mr. McCoy about if we can use that field.
It's not a bad idea, they use up.
Because it's right there, I mean, I know it's a scheduling situation, but you can practice there, but when you play games, you like to have a nice field to play on to see what it. I know way back then, that was part of the deal when they built the school. This was have a
When the grass is cut short and it's easy to see what you're walking on, it's definitely playable. But if the grass is long, then it causes a little bit more of a problem.
This is the second time I'm hearing about the grass being long. Can you write that down? Because before I heard about, I'm serious, I heard about the soccer coach coming out early. Didn't they say the kids said the soccer coach was coming out early with his lawnmower cutting the grass? And now I hear, what?
Okay.
Is that a job for,
Yes, but he did it, he wanted the grass short and went like,
Because
and he
the
did
grass
it
wasn't
once.
cutting. Now I'm hearing a
And
parent
he did
saying
it once.
that in
Yes.
this.
And it's been circled through the rumor mill into inflated into a big, he's mowing every week and.
It wasn't the rumor mill. The kids came to a board meeting and said, my soccer coach has to come out in the morning with a lawnmower. You there? He said it on the kids said it on the
Yes,
video.
I know what was said.
I'm not saying everything that said is accurate. I'm just saying it came on camera and now I'm hearing a parent say, when the grass is cut, it's doable as if there's times that they go out there as a parent and you can see that the grass is not cut. So for me, that's a concern because we pay for services with a vendor to keep our lawn a certain way. And if it's spring season, which is what we're talking about, and I guess fall for the soccer, maybe we need to look at when they're coming out. If they're doing it in the morning, but at the end of the day, it's not long. So what's the intervals between grass cutting? I don't know.
Sure. Okay.
Especially we got a game.
Are there any other issues that you wish to bring up?
There's a comment, one new.
There's a comment. What is it? Can we backtrack briefly? Speaking of athletics needs and wants, will the softball scoreboard be operational for spring season?
That was me.
Who's on the list?
That's all.
I didn't know.
All right, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
9:04 p.m. Thank you. Good night. Happy holidays.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Thank you. Good night.